What's good, gangy? I'm back as usual, and today we're going to be talking about being humble and how that's close to godliness. So, what even is being humble? Like, what does that mean? Being humble is basically having self control over your actions and your emotions and not letting, things like rage bait, really get to you. Yeah, you know I'm talking about you. Anyway, so being humble, the best example of that is Jesus. He was always being confronted. He was always getting talked down. He was always getting asked these stinking questions that just were pretty easy to answer, but they just wanted to trick Jesus, the people asking. So basically, being humble is pretty dang close to being Christ-like, because Jesus, he never acted out in any anger to anyone except for at the temple. But even that was justifiable because they were doing wrong in God's temple. But anyway, that doesn't mean go out and act a fool because you think it's okay. Just don't even try. Anyway, but Jesus, you can never picture him angry except for that one moment. And even then, he still had self-control of what he said, what he did. All he did was flip a table. Isn't that insane? Yeah, I know it is. But anyway, how do we be humble? I feel like the first thing is to forgive. And forgiveness, obviously, Jesus is pretty good at it, especially on the cross. That's the best example. Because Jesus, he even said, "Forgive them, Father, for they not know of the actions that they're doing," or something like that. And so, basically, holy cow, I have an ad. That's embarrassing. Anyway, that's kind of funny. Anyway, so forgiveness, it's a command to obey. It's stepping back and trusting God to enact his justice in his way and in his time in a situation where you've been wronged. Jesus, he's forgiven so many people. He even forgave Judas, who turned him in to die. Think about it. Would you ever forgive someone that could turn you in to die? I mean, me personally, I don't think I'm that good. But Jesus did, and that's insane. But another thing about trying to be humble is not gossiping at all. And so, I know, I'm a pretty bad example of this. But listen, gossiping, it's just a vent out, but in a really poor manner. And in a really poor way. If you gossip, what does that make you? You're not talking to them and trying to figure things out. No, you're just trying to get some dirt on them or make their reputation horrible. Oh, have you heard what Bartholomew said? He's such a bleepity bleep. I hate him. Think about that. Is that humble? Is that humble? Or just saying how wrong someone is for doing something? Is that humble? Let's be real. It's not. And so, another thing to think about to not gossip. What if you just didn't? No, I'm joking. But what if instead of gossiping, what if you figured it all out and then you just keep it to yourself? That's what you have to do. It's not a what if. That's what you have to do. Because it's easier to, and it's more Christ-like to. If you gossip, you're going to have that grudge against someone. But anyway, I want you to think about this as the last thing. An angry man is just as foolish as a man in sorrow, because they both let a wound hurt them, and they were never humble enough to let it go. Meaning, they didn't have, the only way that they could vent out was not being humble. It was being angry and being sorrow. And that's foolish. But my time here is about through. I'll be praying for you guys. Have been, obviously. And yeah, I hope you have a good one. Deuces, gangy gang.